Hello and welcome to Non-Ec Nonsense, a show where your hosts have survived the summer sock season. I am Cackled.
I am Michael Materdomini. No more community theater for me. I'm free. We're done.
I can't believe you fucking did that. I
Nope. We're starting off strong. Nope. Can't believe I did it either. But as like we've talked before, and it's something I wanted to do. I wanted to prove y'all bitches wrong. And here we are. I limped to the finish line, but I got there, and that's all that matters. Keep limping, baby. Keep limping.
Jesus Christ.
It doesn't get better.
It does not. Sarah Shock was right. I chatted with her today for a little bit.
The queen.
I love her so much. Yeah, but how has your summer been, Michael?
My summer, it's been busy, Kat. From doing my normal teaching gig at shout out Adriana Zabala's Voice of Music Academy in Green Acres, Florida.
Also, let's just pause for a second, just because people might be confused. We did record some stuff in advance. We are finally basically catching up closer to the actual release times. We're at this point we'd be about 2 months out, maybe a month out from a month out from our first drop. No, a couple weeks from our first drop, but a month and change out from when this will drop.
Yeah, so I got 2 weeks until Witches. So when that first podcast comes out, y'all can do the fucking math. We don't need to explain to you. We're prepping for y'all, okay? Because we want to come out swinging every Monday. Mm-hmm. So, no missed Mondays is the motto. For this
there
season.
will probably be some missed Mondays.
Let's be honest, there's going to be some missed Mondays. But
they're probably going to be pre-scheduled missed Mondays.
Pre-scheduled, yes. But, So what I've been doing this summer, I've been teaching at my normal teaching job at AZ Voice of Music. I just started up the Bubbies at Del Rey. And I am directing Aladdin Junior Elementary and Teen Middle School Edition, and also directing Hadestown Teen. And then I just got done with Chorus Line. So I don't know how I'm functioning, but, we're getting there. We're getting back to becoming a normal human being. For 2 weeks, I'm hibernating. This is my hibernation period. I'm going to do absolutely nothing. And then when Witches rolls around, hey, back in the swing of things.
The hibernation period is good. Wait, what is your first day of rehearsal for Witches?
October 1st.
October 1st. Okay. So October 1st, I'm starting kind of rejoining Disenchanted on October 4th. So we're gonna be right around the same time of chaos.
Mommy and Daddy are gonna be a little busy, but
yeah.
Hey, we're getting podcasts out for you, Michael Ursua. Don't worry, they're coming. Son of a bitch! I tried so hard throughout Chorus Line. I was trying to make it a point to get you on this thing, and you still won't do it. So we're gonna have to put a bounty out on you.
Oh my God.
That's the only way to get this done. But
part of me doesn't blame him, because we are two feral creatures in theater, and we do not care if we get canceled. You kind of want to see if it happens.
We went out through season 1 with that. We're fine.
I
we're
untouchable.
We're not untouchable.
We're not bad people. Tomorrow. We're not bad people. We're just
stupid.
We're taking the piss out of theater. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
It's fine. Ursua, take the stick out of your ass and come on the show.
I'm gonna send this clip to Mark Shaman and be like, hey, don't worry.
Send the clip of you asking who the fuck wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory to Mark Shaman.
We're not bringing that up. When he comes on here, we're not bringing that up. Okay.
How
At the
how could I not bring up the fact that I did that wonderful show?
You know what? We'll bring it up, but like, please don't fucking do that. Anyways, Kat, talk about your summer. What's going on?
Okay, so in the span of you doing a chorus line, let's be so fucking real right now. In the span of you doing a chorus line, I have technically been working on 3 shows. So let's be very clear. So I did 6 weeks of, well, I did, I guess, technically 4 weeks of Sound of Music, 2 weeks of double duty with Sound of Music and 42nd Street, 3 weeks of 42nd Street alone, and then a week of double duty with the
Jesus.
Disenchanted tour at 42nd Street. And now I'm off for like 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna be in New York. And then we're gonna have like 3 days of rehearsal, and then we start teching the fucking tour, and we open on the 11th.
First off, gross. And then second off, shout out to Johnny Van Dyke and Ashley Rubin for
Yes.
the bringing back the OG Princess Posse there.
Yeah.
Um, I miss Johnny. Johnny, if you're listening, man, I wish I could give you a hug and you can give me a demerit for it. I really do. And Ashley Rubin, I'm throwing dice for you, baby. I'm throwing dice. I
Maybe
missed you.
one day when I go into rehearsal, I'll just like be FaceTiming you, and then like Johnny will be like, "Well, hey there," you know.
Oh, hash, what did he do? Hash down. Hash down. But yeah,
But
and then you got to do 42nd Street with Patrick Ryan Sullivan.
who we are talking with about getting on the podcast, and that
Mm-hmm.
will be a fun episode. I
It'll
love
just be
that man.
42nd Street.
It'll be it'll be
42nd
it'll
Street.
be we'll be talking about his like 40 million productions of 42nd Street. And then we're gonna play compare contrast between our 2 productions. Dun dun dun.
Uh-oh. Michael Ursua, tune into that one, buddy.
or don't. Who knows?
Please do.
Oh my god.
No, but yeah, no, you were Maggie, which was like one of my favorite characters. And like when I found out you got Maggie, I was fucking thrilled. And like you texted me too, and you were like, "I'm Maggie. What's my track?" And I was like, "The
And
princess track."
you fucking really downplayed it. Now, sure, Maggie does not dance like the rest of these fuckers. Sure. Comparing it to like the ensemble and like the core four and shit, a princess track. Michael, I literally never left the fucking stage except for to change costumes.
Well, it's easy for you not to leave the stage. The stage is so small. You could take 3 large fucking plies and make it across.
Listen, and you would do it too for $700 a week.
I would. I fucking would. Yo, speaking of that, like, I'm not gonna lie to the audience. Amanda Lopez is on in an hour. Like, she's gonna be on next week, but like, she in this waiting room right now. Like, but we're jumping straight into episode 5 with Nonic Nonsense award winner herself, Amanda Lopez. And
her left
people
titty.
are gonna be watching this. Yeah, and her Nonic titty, and we have a story about that. Don't worry. Tune in next week. But also, I lost my train of thought. I started thinking about the titty.
That's staying in. That is...
Fuck,
Can the audience
we?
tell that we haven't recorded in a minute?
Oh my god, we're rusty. What is happening? We still get used to it. Holy fuck!
No,
People are gonna be like, these guys have gone off the rails. All right, continue.
We've been off the rails. The rails have not existed for us in a very long time, probably since episode 1 or before we dropped the first episode. And now that we have video and we know that we can leave in the laughing bits because it's not like they're just staring at a blank screen, wondering why is it silent as we're like rattling around. you know. Now we can have really like unhinged moments kept in. But no,
Yeah.
you were talking about like we were talking about like the princess track. You did not have a princess track in 42nd Street.
No, that was like the farthest thing from a princess track. Like, what would be the opposite of a princess track? Like a fucking peasant track? Is that what it would be? Like the fucking
Running.
peasant track of I don't know. It was fucking awful. It was so bad. Like again, like I've stated before, like I had at that point I hadn't tapped in like 6 years in a show, and I wanted to fill in space because at the time I didn't have anything. So I was like, I'm gonna do 42nd Street at the Lauderhill Performing Arts, directed by Michael Ursu and choreographed by Alex Shore. Like, oh. So I did my little times. I feel wow. I did my little tap routine. I sent that shit in, and they were like, "Great, sounds clear, sure." And I was like, "How easy could it be?" Right? Come on. I show up at like a pre-day, like where they were like, "Hey, if you can make it in, like a couple days early, we're gonna do the opening number." I was like, "Sure." And I did it before a Two Life show, and we only had an evening show, so I was like, "Okay, I can go in and I can tap a little bit, and then I can sing some tunes at the end of the night. It'll be a great day." So I go in, and I showed up like a couple minutes late just because I think I had something in the morning, like a dentist appointment, whatever. It was stupid. So I show up a little bit late, like an hour late, and everyone is drenched. And I knew from that moment there, I was fucked. Like, I
Yeah.
was like, what did I sign up for? For $400. I'm kidding. But I was like, what did I sign myself up for? I was like, what did I sign myself up for? So I I learned a little bit of it, and I wanted to throw up. Like it was really bad. Like I was like, oh, here we go. Right. So I'm just like chugging water, and I'm going to the bathroom and I'm doing my thing and I'm collecting myself. And we get to this point where they're doing this. I think it's a maxi four combination. It's really fucking crazy. The
Yeah.
arms and the legs at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at it and my eyes twitching. Like I'm like, oh, okay. And I put that to and I'm like, okay, I need to go. So I leave dry heaving, by the way, the whole time. I'm like driving to the Willow Theater, like like coughing in the car. It was really bad, right? And
Oh
I
my
get to the
God.
show and I'm like already like winded. And Bruno for real looks at me and he's like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, I have my first day of 42nd Street. He goes, collect yourself, fat ass. All right. Like I was like, okay. So, did the show, and then the next Tuesday, there we were. And in the room, it wasn't bad. Like once you learn the opening and you learned everything, like fine, whatever.
Yeah.
I never took into account the costume changes at all.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, it'll be fine. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't. As we talked before, it was a nightmare, a literal nightmare. Dicks a swanging, titties popping out, costume whipping. It was those were the tour costumes. You had to be a little skinny boy. I was not. So I remember my first interact. Well, actually, my first two interactions with Ursula, and I hope he gets a kick out of these because the first day I went to McDonald's right outside the Lauderhill Performing Arts Center because I was like, I need a McSprite. So I
Mm-hmm.
go and I'm like waiting there, and he's there. So I look at him, and keep in mind, like we haven't really like chatted.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at him and I go, "Hey, both Michaels had the same idea for lunch. Just trying to start a conversation." And he just looks at me and he goes, "That was it. No words came out." I was like, "Okay, he fucking hates me. That's it."
No,
But little
that's
did I
him.
know,
Yeah,
I
that's
got him. I got a little tickle. And then the second time we really talked was when I was putting on my costumes, and he came into the boys' dressing room, and everyone was like, "Nothing fits." Right? So he was like doing damage control,
mm-hmm.
and he walks up to me, and I'm like, "Oh, I am sucking in, girl." I'm like trying to put this jumpsuit on, and he goes, "Are you okay?" And I just turn back to him and I go, "Listen, I'll be fine. I'm gonna go home, stick two fingers down the back of my throat. I'll come back in tomorrow. I'll fit into the costume." And he gave me this look of like that was funny, but I shouldn't laugh at it. And then he left.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
But yeah,
Like, no, and of course we had the exact same costumes for our production. The 3D theatricals, which really peace and love. 3D, they have made their money off of that rental package. They need to burn everything. Everything is okay. So listen, I think I got a video. I think somewhere I will insert it here if I find it. They sent the shipment of fucking costumes that they sent in was absolutely fucking insane. They sent every single costume in every single, and basically everything is the same size, but like every just different lengths, more or less. Everything was fucking sent in. Boxes on boxes on boxes on boxes. Fucking giant fucking truck filled with all these costumes,
yep.
and they had to load them in and shit. And it was a fucking nightmare. And everything is fucking dry rotted because people have been sweating doing 8 shows a week in those fuck ass costumes for how long?
Let
20
me
years?
attest to that. Let me fucking attest to that because at the time, like halfway through the run, my back was like fucking itchy, and I was like, "Why is my back itchy?" And I don't have any photos of this because it's fucking gross. I turned around one day, like after the first weekend, and I looked at my back, and I had red splotches all over my back, and I was like, "What?" Right? So I went to the dermatologist about it, and she was like, "Are you wearing clothes that other people have worn?" And I was like, "Yes." I was like, "Please explain." And she's like, "It looks like the costumes were just like not taken care of in between uses. So you have some sort of bacterial thing on your back." And I was like, "Ah, cool, 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 cool. Gross." And I ended up like taking cream and it went away immediately. But like, I got someone's ick. Like, I don't know
That
who or who
is
was wearing
so,
that pink button down, but gross.
that is so fucking nasty.
Did anyone wear the pink button down in your show?
I believe so, yeah.
That's my shirt.
Hopefully, well, that actor did
Check
not
his
complain
back.
of that actor did not
Check
complain
his
of any
back.
ailments. No one complained of any ailments because of the fucking dry rot. But it was crazy because
Mm.
we had people from that tour in our show. So they were wearing their old costumes and they were like looking at them going, woof, they've really gone through the ringer over the fucking years. Like
So Sully was like, "I remember this costume from 1963."
okay, let me just be so fucking real. Sully wore his own costume. He wore his own costume. He brought his own suit in, his own everything from your production. So he wore that one.
That's like God.
No, but I didn't have to wear the costume package. I was too thick for the package. So they had to send costumes from none other than Costume World.
Costume World. Shout out Costume World. Gave us the costumes for Chorus Line 2. Marilyn made bank this summer. Good for her.
Oh, Marilyn make it big. Also, I think some of the Sound of Music costumes were from Costume World, like a couple of them. Most of them were from Oslo Rep, which
Mm.
is so funny that like I leave South Florida and then the costumes are from fucking South Florida. I'm like, what the fuck? It follows
Follows
me.
you.
It's like a curse. Um, but
Did you do anything fun with your cast?
I yes, I mean which cast? I mean both casts, but yeah, I
Yeah.
mean I'm gonna be so fucking real. Um, this has been like a really hard double triple duty kind of situation where a lot of the times they would like go out and like I don't drink so like they would go out sometimes to like a bar and stuff and like those kind of outings like I really wouldn't go to. If we were going out to dinner and stuff sometimes I would do that and like Yeah, we would do because the theater is because it's theater by the sea. It, the beach is like a 5 to 10 minute walk from the back of the theater, so you can literally like people would like literally go to the beach in between two show days and then like come
Nice.
back and like do the night show. So like we would do bonfires after our shows. So like that was a lot of fun. Um a lot of like the super fun activities when they like went, traveling around, like went to Newport or things like that. Like
Hmm.
I was doing rehearsals for like another thing. So
Gotcha.
like I got to hang out with people like at bonfires, like when it was like late night. And I feel like I hung out more once I moved into housing
Got it.
because during Sound of Music, I was staying at my place and commuting back and forth. And then for 42nd, especially with that tech and stuff, and knowing that I was going to have to do rehearsals in the city and stuff, I was like, you just need to fucking house me. Cause like I can't do this. And so they put me up. So once I was in housing, I could hang out with people a little more often. But yeah, no, I mean we had a lot of fun. The duckening happened, which I don't know if I've talked about the duckening.
Please talk about the ducketing.
Okay,
Everyone needs to know about this.
so because we get bored backstage. Also, basically, actors are children.
Yep.
People need to give us activities so we don't lose our fucking minds backstage.
Treats.
Treats. It's really a treat system. Like we're small pets. Anyway, so the duckening, which was created, I think, this year, um, by the crew. And basically what they did was they bought hundreds and hundreds of these little tiny ducks. I actually have two upstairs. I did not think that I was going to talk about the duckening, so I didn't bring them in. I will insert a photo of one of these ducks that is actually hidden. Anyway, so the duckening, and each episode, depending on each show, is like named after a Star Wars film. And basically what happens is the crew hides these miniature glow in the dark ducks everywhere backstage. Dressing rooms, I mean, the wings, wardrobe bays, like stage manager stations, near the sound crew, like near the fly rail system, like wherever. They're everywhere. They're hidden and they're so fucking tiny. And so it's a hunt. It's a duck hunt. Every 5 ducks, you get a piece of candy. And your ducks are tallied up throughout each show. And whoever has the most ducks at the end of the run wins. And let me just say, during Sound of Music, I had a lot more time than I did during 42nd Street. So, Sound of Music, I won the duckening with 300 ducks.
300 ducks is fucking insane.
And it's not even that insane because they bought more ducks. They bought like a new, I think like 400 ducks extra for 42nd Street. So they could hide more. And as they get turned in, more can be hidden. Now, I opted out of the duck hunt for 42nd Street because I won and I didn't want to like do it again and become a loser, you know? So
Win and go home.
yeah. So I decided to be one of the hiders. So I would hide with the crew. Because when you start hunting for ducks, you find some really weird places to hide them. Like in bathrooms, like in light fixtures, little tiny holes in the wall. Sometimes on top of a sandbag. I would attach them to lights. And like some ducks would be like, some places would have like multiple ducks. There was like a hole in the wall. And like you couldn't really look into it, but you had to reach your hand into the hole. And sometimes it'd be one duck, sometimes it'd be like 20 ducks. You didn't know. Anyway, so Kevin, who is our Captain Von Trapp, and he played Andy Lee in 42nd Street, he found 504 ducks during 42nd Street. Five
Andy Lee found fucking 500?
Andy Lee found 504 ducks.
Here's the real question: how many dated on stage?
Okay, so here's okay, so technically the ducks are not supposed to hit the stage. It's like a hard rule. You're not supposed to bring ducks on stage. However, there were a couple instances where people, I remember during like closing weekend of Sound of Music, our Max John Gardner, he knew I was having a rough double duty day, and during bows, he just hands me a duck and made my fucking week. But in 42nd Street, so Matt, who was on Run Crew, he would bring on the Dorothy Rock dressing room, like wall facade and stuff with like our chaise lounge and shit in the door. And so I would have to go through that door to be like, Julian, it's 8:40, we've got to call places, whatever. And when I would close the door, I would turn and in like one of the nooks, he would do a scene of ducks every day for me. Sometimes it was a murder, sometimes it was a wedding. Sometimes it was ducks arranged into a flower. Sometimes it was ducks having sex. So every day was a different.
You're done. You're fucked. No, you're fucked.
Anyway, but
You're fucked.
there was one day during closing week, Sully is walking on stage to do the your I want sheer unadulterated brilliance, whatever the fuck line is, when he walks in on the girls and he's like, go get dressed for the opening. So he's standing in front of me. He goes and walks to the door and he's like moving pretty briskly. And in his journey, a duck falls off of him. And me and Matt look at each other like, how was the duck on him? I don't think he knew that the duck was on him because he's mischievous and we'll talk about him torturing me on stage. But like when he comes on, but it didn't look like he planned it to be like, ha ha ha, I've got a duck on my person. It was like a duck somehow appeared on his body and then fell off, and it was just kind of like scooped up off the stage floor. But and then sometimes someone put a duck on our MD's microphone, so you could only see the duck if you saw the monitor.
That fucked. So fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, someone put it's my favorite thing. Someone put a duck in the bottle of hand sanitizer. Oh, granted, it was like an almost empty bottle of hand inside in the gel. It was an almost empty bottle, and our Peggy Sawyer, Laura Gooley, who went to Dreyfus with you, she dug the fucking duck out with her goddamn fingies.
I mean, like, see, now we're gonna get a little chemistry in here or something, whatever it is. If you jam your dirty finger into the sanitizer, desanitize the sanitizer.
Yes, we ended up. No one expected her to take it out of the hand sanitizer. Normally, what happened was because they did it in Sound of Music too, where they dropped like a brand new duck straight out of the packaging directly into it, so it wasn't touching anything. Um, most people would just hold up the thing and show it to the person who does the tally. Not Laura, not the Ghoulie girl. Shoved her shoved her not Peg Me Sawyer, shoved her goddamn fingies in the fucking bottle, and then it was
Peg like, Me Sawyer, you're done. No, what? No, listen. If I was still HR, because I was HR in chorus line, and we'll get to that. You guys will hear it next week, but Kat's gonna hear it in about 30 minutes. HR would have written you up so
Listen,
fast.
Everyone's
you wouldn't have heard. No. Where's my pen? You would have just heard fucking. That's it. That's all you would have heard, and that struck fear into people's hearts backstage. I went to town. I wish I took a picture of the mirror. I think I maybe passed out about 50 HR notes, and they weren't unjustified. There wasn't a single one that was like, is that really a write-up? Everyone got written up. I'm so serious. I wasn't playing around. You give you give me a bit, you're done. You're fucked. That's what I used to say. I changed it up a little bit. You're done is like it wasn't like it was bad, but it wasn't like really terrible, awful. But if I
Mm-hmm.
wrote you fucked on that post-it note, you said some like cancelable shit. Like you like that was it for you. Like you were actually like you're
Is
fucked. If
Peg
this
is
gets out,
Peg
you're done.
is Peg Me Sawyer really that cancelable?
Peg me Sawyer's a done. Like you're done. Like that's not a you're fucked. Like
Yeah.
I have a good game. Who said something? That was playing Mark in our production. It was Mark. I'm wrong. He was in one day without his dance belt. He just didn't pack his dance belt, and he was walking around the room like I forgot, right? And I was already like, do it. Thoughts like I'm ready. And he was like, prove that I don't have one. And I was like, you're done. You're fucked. Like, and everyone heard the click. Like, and then that was it. He got written up. He got the most write ups at the end. I think he had like six. He had a potty mouth. He was done.
Oh my God.
I
But
only had
yeah.
two.
Who wrote you up?
Mandy. Mandy was the women's HR. So like if I got out of line, then Mandy struck fear into my heart. But we'll get to Amanda Lopez very soon.
But can I just say that 42nd Street really bred a certain level of kooky, crazy activity for especially for like during the named characters. The ensemble, they were working real hard. And there was a couple like goofy people, like my homie Rafa would literally during the Dorothy Rock portion of Habit in the beginning, he would take mic tape and tape up his nose like a little Who and be like dancing for us around the piano in the wings, which was always entertaining. But for for
What the hell was that noise?
for the rest of us, we really if our mics were turned on, we would have gotten fired. Because me and
Example.
okay, so during Habit, during that boardwalk sequence, um, I used to give Oscar cocaine lines of cocaine at the piano. Um,
Cat.
real cocaine, fake
I know not real
cocaine.
cocaine. What do you think this is? Fat cats in Fort Lauderdale? No.
No, but so at first it was like a bet in rehearsal. And this is the problem is I encouraged it. Um my friend Henry, he was like he was like, what if I just did a line of coke off of this piano? And I was like, I will fucking pay you money if you do a line of coke off of the piano every single show. And he was like, you don't want to make that bet. And he was
Sounds
fucking
like my
right.
kind of guy.
Yes. Professional unprofessionalism. Yes. But so then he developed this voice for Oscar impersonating a certain employee at the theater. Anyway, so he would also refer to me as mommy and Julian Marsh as
Oh.
daddy. And he'd be like, okay, mommy, what do you have for me today at the piano? And so I would give him a line.
Ew.
And so I would give him a line of coke during certain like a key change and stuff and like a bump in volume and whatever. It was just like two lines.
He
And
would
then
wait, Cat. You missed an opportunity for him doing bumps with a key change. I'm sorry. Stupid. Continue.
anyway, so yeah. But so I would put a line because he had a cigarette in his mouth as he was playing as Oscar. So his hands are playing. He's got a cigarette in his mouth, and he would just kind of like lean forward to like do the line off the piano. And then he started asking me like, "What's on the menu today, Mama?" And so it would be like, today we've got ketamine. I love the art stuff, and like start. And then it became, whatever we felt like. So like one day it was fish tank gravel, and one day it was rusty nails from the parking lot. And then when I came back from New York that day, he was like, "What's on the menu today, Mama?" And I was like, "The hopes and dreams of everyone at the waitress EPA at Pearl Studios today."
Oh my! All right, all right.
He'd be like, "I tasted desperation." I'm like,
Does this smell like shit in here? Like,
but so yeah, we would do that. And then Meryl Pfeiffer was our Dorothy Brock, and originally she would have, when Julian was like, "Cut the kiss," just say do the scene and improvise or whatever. She would go to give me the script. And so one day she decided to just put her script everywhere but my hands. And just, I've got a clip of it. I will insert that now, of Meryl doing this activity with me every single fucking day. Sometimes she would like put it above her head, so I would have to like jump because she's taller than me. So she would do that to torture me. But yeah, it was not good. We played a lot of activity. Yeah. Professional and professionalism. Anyway, I love my job.
this is what we do for love, Kat.
What a corny ass segue.
You're damn right it was. I lost 3 brain cells in 2 ounces, but I said it.
Jesus Christ.
Do you still hate me?
No. I loathe you. No.
It's only episode 4.
But yeah, what a time.
Anyways, we are wrapping this sucker up right now, coming up to our limit on episode 4. Everybody, the season's almost here. Let's just trudge through, and let's get to making some beautiful South Florida and wherever the fuck Cat's gonna be in States at that time theater. And Michael Ursua, the bounty starts at $1. That's where we're at right now.
I'll throw in a quarter progress as well. I'll throw in a quarter.
All right, it's $1.25. Oh God. Anyways, thank you everyone for coming back and watching Nonic Nonsense. Thank you for putting up with us being super rusty today and dealing with ducks and all of the Nonic nonsense that is going on at Theater by the Sea. I appreciate you. Kat appreciates you. We miss you guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Happy to be back. Any closing remarks, Miss Kathleen Gold?
Oh God, why'd you use my government name? No.
See, because I got that reaction. That's why.
I'm a 30-year-old lady. Don't use my government name without my permission.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right. Yes, mommy. Anyway, no, I hope all of you people that survived through summer stock are resting well. Audition season already feels like it's fucking upon us. So Godspeed. If you're going to any EPAs, gird your loins. I don't know what to tell you.
And whatever you do, don't get COVID. That's it. And on that note, thank you for tuning into Nonic Nonsense. We're here every Monday, almost 99% of the time. Stay happy, stay healthy. No COVID.
No COVID.